Arvind Kejriwal dancing at his daughter's engagement. Yeah, you probably saw the headlines, maybe even those videos floating around.
Yeah, they were everywhere for a bit.
But behind those viral moments, what's the actual story? Welcome to the Deep Dive. We try to sift through all that noise and bring you the bits that really matter. Today, we're going beyond just the surface of Harshita Kejriwal's recent wedding to Sambhav Jain. We've pulled together news reports, some social media chatter, the political angles, trying to unpack this whole thing.
From all sides.
Exactly. And our goal, really, for you listening, is simple. Get a better handle on the couple, their, pretty impressive backgrounds, and the wider discussion this whole celebration kicked off.
Yeah.
And get this, the wedding itself. It happened at Kapurthala House in Delhi, a place with, royal history, and it's currently connected to the Chief Minister of Punjab.
Right, this is official Delhi residence.
Intriguing, isn't it? So stick around, because this story definitely has some layers you won't want to miss.
It certainly does. And
Yeah.
just to lay out the timeline, Harshita Kejriwal and Sambhav Jain, they officially got married on April 18th, 2025.
Okay.
That big day came right after their engagement, which was just the day before, April 17th.
Back to back.
Yeah, pretty much. And from what the reports are saying, both events were, kept quite private, intimate gatherings, select invites. And we also know there's a reception coming up on April 20th. So it's really rounding out a pretty significant week for both families.
Yeah, definitely sounds like it. And their connection, it's not something brand new, right? This goes back a bit.
Oh yeah, their journey actually started years ago. They were both students at IIT Delhi.
Ah, okay.
Harshita was studying chemical engineering. She graduated in 2018, and Sambhav was also there, part of that whole IIT scene.
So it's kind of a classic story then, campus connection turning into something more long-term, like late-night study sessions leading to, this.
Exactly, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
But what really jumps out when you look into their backgrounds is that shared foundation, just solid academic excellence.
Right.
Harshita wasn't just, an IIT grad. Reports say she actually secured the 3rd rank in her entire department.
Wow, okay. That's serious.
Yeah. And we also found out she got a pretty amazing rank, 300 to 322nd, in the IIT GE Advanced exam back in 2014. That's after going to Delhi Public School in Noida.
That exam is notoriously tough.
Insanely tough.
Yeah.
So that level of achievement, it really says something about her, intellect and sheer hard work.
For sure.
And like we said, Sambhav's also an alumnus from IIT Delhi. So right off the bat, you've got a couple with these just incredibly strong academic roots.
But their story takes a really interesting turn after graduation, doesn't it? This is where I think it gets kind of fascinating for people watching. Fast forward a bit, and Harshita and Sambhav, they aren't just planning a wedding, they're actually business partners too.
That's right. They co-founded a health tech startup. It's called Basil Health.
Okay, Basil Health. Let's dive into that for a sec. So it's all about using automation for personalized, nutritious meals.
Yeah, that's the core idea. Apparently, the inspiration came from Harshita's own struggles, trying to eat healthy while juggling a really demanding career.
I think a lot of people can relate to that one, that constant battle.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very common challenge, right?
Yeah.
Especially today. But what's really interesting is how they took that personal problem and built a business around it. And it seems to have quite a reach.
Yeah, how so?
Well, Basil Health has reportedly served over 1 million customers already.
1 million. Wow.
Yeah, through its 15 outlets. And they use these automated systems, which suggests, there's some serious tech behind the scenes driving their operations.
Okay, so it's not just a small side project.
Doesn't sound like it. And the narrative seems to be that Harshita is kind of the brain behind the concept, the vision, while Sambhav handles more of the operations and the tech side.
Yeah.
So you see this real synergy there in their personal life and in their professional life too.
Yeah, it's way more than just a wedding announcement then. It feels like a story of two people really building something significant together.
Absolutely.
Now, okay, weddings are also family things, right? And this one definitely had some notable faces show up. We saw those clips of Arvind Kejriwal and his wife, Sunita.
Yeah, the dancing.
Totally. Dancing at the engagement to that song from Pushpa 2, Angaro Ka Ambarsa. That clip really, really took off online, didn't it?
It did. Went pretty viral.
It gives you that little glimpse, I guess, into the personal side of someone who's constantly, in the public spotlight.
It certainly does. And I think it's moments like that that often humanize public figures for a lot of people watching.
True.
And beyond that, that nice family moment, Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann was there for both the engagement and the wedding. And his Bhangra performance at the engagement, that also got a ton of attention online. Another viral moment.
Right, I thought that one too. Looked like he was having a good time.
He did. He attended with his wife, Dr. Gurpreet Kaur, and also present were former Delhi Deputy CM Manish Sisodia and his wife.
Ah, okay. So key figures from AAP.
Yeah, definitely. Plus, other prominent AAP leaders showed up too, like Atishi was seen at the wedding, Gopal Rai, Sanjay Singh, Raghav Chadha. It seems like it was a pretty significant moment of, celebration within the Aam Aadmi Party circle.
Yeah, feels like a show of unity, maybe. A time for camaraderie within the party, for sure.
Seems that way.
And we saw both AAP MP Sanjay Singh and Manish Sisodia put out messages, wishing the couple well publicly.
Right, sharing their good wishes.
But as almost always happens these days, especially with anything involving politics, this event also stirred up different kinds of discussions, even some critical comments, especially flying around social media.
Yeah, you probably saw some of that popping up in your feeds.
Oh yeah, it's almost unavoidable.
And it inevitably brings up that really tricky area, doesn't it? The intersection of personal life and public life, especially for political families.
Definitely.
So some people online started asking questions about, the perceived scale or maybe the expense of the wedding, given Arvind Kejriwal's position as a public servant.
Right, that common man image versus a fancy wedding kind of angle.
Exactly. But it's also really important to note that a lot of other people jumped in to defend Harshita and Sambhav.
How so?
Well, by pointing straight to their own achievements, their top-tier education from IIT, their success building Basil Health, arguing that they have their own independent financial means for their wedding.
Okay. So pushing back, saying it's their money, not the public's.
Precisely. It really highlights the different ways people look at these kinds of events, the different lenses they use.
Yeah, totally. It's a really nuanced situation. And the political commentary, it didn't just stop at the cost, did it?
No, not at all. Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta, who's from the BJP, she took a pretty direct shot at the venue for the engagement, the Shangri-La Hotel, sort of suggesting it revealed something, about Arvind Kejriwal's actual lifestyle.
Oof. Okay, so definitely adding a layer of political sort of tension right into the middle of the wedding talk.
Absolutely, injecting it right in there. And then the choice of Kapurthala House for the wedding itself, that also drew fire.
From who?
Particularly from BJP and Congress leaders over in Punjab. They basically questioned why Punjab CM Bhagwant Mann was hosting what they saw as a purely private family event at an official government residence.
Okay, I can see how that would raise eyebrows.
Yeah, and comparisons were immediately made to Raghav Chadha's engagement, which was also held there not too long ago.
So there's a pattern they're suggesting.
That seems to be the implication. We heard some really strong reactions. Sunil Jakhar, he's the Punjab BJP president, reportedly called Kapurthala House a marriage palace of eminence.
Ouch! Marriage palace.
Yeah, and Congress leader Pratap Singh Bajwa used that pretty dramatic phrase, Nero fiddled while Rome burned.
Wow. Okay, so really strong language being thrown around there.
Definitely not holding back.
And what was the AAP's response to that? Did they defend using Kapurthala House?
They did, yeah.
And
they defended it. It's described, as a heritage building. It has these old royal connections.
Right.
And its official function is to serve as the residence for the Punjab CM when he's visiting Delhi.
Huh.
So it does have that specific significance.
Okay. So there's an official justification, even if critics don't buy it for a private event.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's where the wedding ceremony took place. That was the backdrop. Whereas the Shangri-La Hotel, that was for the engagement and the Sanjeet.
Right. So you've got these two distinct venues, and each one kind of carries its own baggage, its own set of implications, maybe?
Precisely. Kapurthala House has that weight of history, plus the current political function. While the Shangri-La, well, it's obviously associated with luxury, prestige. The choice of those specific venues, it probably wasn't random, right? It adds yet another layer to this whole story we're unpacking.
Yeah, it's fascinating how even the where of a private family event can become such a flashpoint for public and political debate.
It really is. Shows how closely things are watched.
Okay, so when you sort of pull back and look at the whole picture, what are the big takeaways here for you, for the audience?
Wow.
Harshita Kejriwal and Sambhav Jain's wedding. It really feels like it's much more than just, a personal milestone, right?
Absolutely. It's this mix. It's family celebration, sure, but it's also layered with their entrepreneurial success story, and then undeniably this significant dose of public attention and political commentary.
Yeah.
And their journey itself, going from IIT classmates to co-founding a business and now getting married, it gives you that really interesting snapshot of like modern partnerships and also the lives of people who are connected, even if indirectly, to the political world.
It really does. And thinking about that, their combined background, tech, business, plus the family connection to public service, it does make you wonder, what kind of impact could they have down the line?
That's a great question. I mean, their health tech company, Basil Health, it already shows they can innovate and build something substantial.
Right. It's not just theoretical.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this whole event, it really just underscores how tangled up personal and public lives can get, especially when there are ties to prominent political figures. It makes you think about the pressures, but maybe also the opportunities that come with being in that kind of position.
Absolutely. And for you watching right now, as you think about their whole story, the academic grind at IIT, that entrepreneurial hustle with Basil Health, and now this very public, very discussed personal event. What do you think is next for Harshita and Sambhav? What kind of impact might they make, in their fields or maybe even beyond? And maybe more broadly, what does this whole episode tell us about how that line between personal life and the public eye keeps shifting? Especially for political families. It's definitely something to chew on. Now look, if you found this deep dive into their story interesting and you want to explore more stories like this, more multifaceted narratives, make sure you hit that subscribe button below.
Yeah, please do.
We've got plenty more in-depth analyses planned, lots more stuff coming your way, and honestly, we wouldn't want you to miss out. Thanks for diving deep with us today.